Very good morning. At the outset, I thank Mr. Mishra to have invited me to this seminar, to inaugurate this seminar. To be very honest, I'm not the authority, I'm not the expert really who should be speaking on business analytics. When he spoke to me just 3-4 days back, then I said really, I'm not an expert, but since you have invited, and this is also an opportunity for me to really come and really be a part of IABF. I love this institution. The video that you saw, that shows really the kind of work that is doing. And I have the privilege of being a governing council member and a fellow of the institute. Then I said really, I must really go and be with this seminar. Besides being the CEO of a company, I'm expected to know something of business analytics. So let me not shy away from the challenge that he has posed and be over here just to be part of the seminar. In fact, in this today's world of really, you can say post-digital era or digital era, that you can really tell, you can say, analytics, business analytics is very, very important for our day-to-day activities. Being the CEO of NPCI, the payments company, trust me, a major part of my time goes in the morning and during the course of the day on analyzing data. You come in the morning and my email box is filled with really about 30 to 35 types of daily reports. And each reports are very rich with information. I need to really see the data, the activities of the previous day in various dimensions. And when I remember when we started the operations about in 2010, hardly there was any, business data except for the yesterday's volume. We have built over a period of time the many kinds of daily reports that is very rich for the senior executive team. So I would really, with that experience, I can say really, and we have defined the reports with the visual graphics, with the trends, with the day transactions for the previous day, transactions for the week, transactions up to the year or up to the month, the cumulative for the month, and in various dimensions and in the various methods of analysis, because that is the way the leadership team really controls, monitors the activities. We as the clearing house also supply host of data to the member banks. Last 2 years back, we started a data series for the member banks. We have now close to 8,000 plus members now, with all public sector banks, all private banks, all RRBs, and we provide them rich data. And 2 years back, we started a monthly data series for the banks. And when our relationship manager goes to the bank at the end of the month, goes with a booklet showing the data of the transactions of the bank on various parameters in check clearing, the traditional ones, in electronic clearing, in ACH, in cards, in mobile payments, in Aadhaar payments, in there are transactions that they have put, the rejections that they have done, their comparative position vis-a-vis the banks in that particular sector, in the peer group comparison, and the trend, the way each of these banks' data is going on. So we churned a large amount of data. Yesterday, on 30th of June, we had at NPCI the peak volume of 35 million. 35 million transactions we processed at NPCI. Of course, in State Bank of India, Kajal Ghosh Saab is there. They process almost really 100 million or 200 million a day. But in the centralized clearing house also we processed the peak volume of 35 million, and we have geared for 100 million. So the 100 million transactions really being coming. So that is a rich source of data. And I know this such kind of analysis is equally applicable for the senior leadership team in individual banks, for the zonal managers, for the regional managers, and the data needs to be available in various dimensions and in parameter driven. The way, and it should be in such a way that not only the historical data, but the trend also, and that can be predicted, that can be projected. So this kind of the use and analysis of data is absolutely important. All of us, so these are all still in the domain of MIS, means Management Information System. We are still at the level of MIS. So from analysis, data analysis, to going to data analytics, a little higher level. So data in analytics is the data analysis, but with the use of statistics, the different kind of data crunching methodologies, and the computer technology. So with this use of different kind of technology, now the host of data is available. I wonder really, in fact, the way the leadership team in banks in India, or we here in India, we were operating 10 or 15 years back, and the way we are operating today. Big difference. Big difference, not just because of really the computer processing, emailing, and letter writing. Letter writing is gone, but bulk of the things are happening email. Previously, if any messaging has to go, letter has to go, it days, 1 day typing, correction, then letter will be dispatched, 3 days it will be delivered. It will come to the inward, somebody will inward, somebody will receive, then they will read. It is gone are those days. The same way, and the way the data used to be compiled, that head office will really issue a circular to the local head office or regional office. Regional office will compile the data from the branch, then it will really come to collated, and then it will be put up. It used to take about a month. Really, the data for the previous month, it used to be really available towards the 15th or 16th of the month, that the complete information about the activities for the previous month is available on 16th of the month. Now it is available real time, dynamically. On 1st of the month, on 31st evening, you get the data. In my company, really, in NPCI, by 11 o'clock on 30th of June, I have got complete data of the month of June in all the activities, all the reports automatically generated, presented in a graphical manner. I will really share a small activity, the incident. About a month back, Mr. Arvind Subramaniam, the Chief Economic Advisor, he visited a village in Andhra Pradesh, because Andhra Pradesh was launching the financial services or the fair price shops. Means the person will go with the Aadhaar card, he will be verified, and entitlement would be paid partly in kind and partly in cash, and cash will be delivered. And the person can also withdraw cash. And he was there for half a day, and he interacted, he observed the activities, how the customers are coming to the fair price shop and really doing this thing. And he observed the whole thing. And there were a huge number of transactions which are failing because of Aadhaar. Then he triggered the whole lot of things, and for last 1 month, every day we are churning out tons and tons of data to really find out really why it is. Why the balance inquiry is going through, why cash withdrawal is failing. Why cash withdrawal is percentage is success ratio is higher than the cash deposit. Why remittance is failing. Where it is failing. Which banks it is really failing. What for it is failing. If it is sent from one particular place, it is succeeding, and another place it is failing. Because one fellow is using one kind of devices, another fellow is using another kind of devices. Why really the people in the failure rate from one district in Andhra is higher than the another district in Andhra. Why in which kind of customers, what kind of transactions have been done. So in fact, it has generated so much of interest in the Economic Affairs Ministry and the Ministry of Finance that they are really the whole lot of data, and now each granular details that we have been able to go with the 1,26,000 micro ATMs, which for financial inclusion at the business correspondent level, which has been done. Such a granular level of data that has been made available through NPCI system, through UIDAI system, and through the bank system. So this kind of really generating the data and presenting it in all its dimensions to see that it is meaningful, means from the data we get the insights, and that insights helps in meaningful decisions and creation of the value. So in the data analytics in the world of financial services, it can apply for various things really. It can, obviously most important these days, the craze in many parts of the world really is the credit scoring, risk scoring while providing the credit. Obviously the pricing decisions, the different kind of product proposition, the customer retention, the what kind of value that it can create, a variety of things. In my own payment system side, really we do a lot of data. First of all, on the really basic thing is the fraud analytics. Fraud analytics is also something which is very, very important, and you would have seen a lot of fraudulent activities taking place in the ATM world. So is it possible that we would be able to, when the transactions are taking place, we would be able to detect whether this is is likely to be a fraudulent transactions. So not only on the basis of so what it would done when a customer goes and puts a transactions in the ATM, the transactions come to really through the switch of the bank, it comes to NPCI. And we have got one engine, the fraud analytics engine, which gives a score. And that score is based on is he a customer, he or she is a customer who usually does the transactions at this point of time. Suppose a customer does the transactions at 1 o'clock at night. It looks a little unusual. Is he a customer who when he did the transactions last? Was it at Delhi and now doing the transactions in Hyderabad in a matter of next half an hour, which looks unpredictable? Is it really an ATM which had the past history of the lot of chargeback, lot of have been created? Is it a transactions that has been generated out of a credit card or a debit card, and the customer himself is prone to really doing a lot of chargeback? So different kind of rules have been built, and that rules also there are some standard rules about 18 or 19 rules, and the banks have put their own rules, quite a few own rules, and based on the rules, then it will really give a score, fraud score, and that score will go along with the transactions to the bank. And the banks have defined in their system, they have their own fraud risk management solution, or they can subscribe to the fraud risk solutions offered by NPCI. And on the basis of that, if the risk score is a little high level, it is at a higher level of suppose 85 or 86, that we will really let us reject the transactions. If the fraud risk is at 30, it is tolerable. So the tolerance limit for the score you define, on the basis of that the transaction is accepted. Now that fraud risk management solution we are replacing by a higher level, still better solution, and we are evaluating two other solutions, FICO solution and SAS solution, to where even the predictive modeling is possible. And we will be in a position to do a little more profiling of the ATMs, profiling of the customer, profiling of on various parameters, and it can be done. The data would also be such that it will be self-learning. Means today I do a transactions, immediately it goes into the database and the database itself learns. So it is a learning database. So as the more and more data goes, the database gets more or more learned, because the profiles becomes rich for the profile for the customer, profile for the ATM, profile for the state, profile for the area, profile. All the profiles get really enriched, and the analytics are done. So if based on the scoring, if it can be really red flag, it can be done. It can either be rejected right at the switch itself, or it can go to the bank, and bank can take a decision. The warnings will also go to the bank on real time. So real time processing of data. So the whole lot of activities are happening on the basis of data. You know, one of the reasons that I would share with you that Reserve Bank decided, or the banking community decided, that the country should have a card payment of its own, like RuPay card, like Visa and MasterCard. One of the reasons, if you see the vision document in the Reserve Bank of India, way back in 2005, we should have a domestic card payment system of our own, for the reason that, well, 96% of the transactions is in-house within the country, and two, the rich, valuable data is available and it is going to the rest of the world. About the consumer behavior in the country, America knows better than what India knows. Can the country's data about its own customer base, should the country have the data within the country, or it should depend outside? That is one of the motive in which that the enriched data which is available should stay within the country, and there should be a control on that. Today, for a bank to really get subscribed to analytics from any of the international card scheme, you will have to pay a hell lot of money. You are being charged at the end of the year. The NPCI really thought that it is appropriate that the data should be churned and made available to the banks as a service, and that too at the same consolidated charges with no extra charges. So the immense amount of data, this considerable amount of data is available in the payment system. Many of the countries, based on you would have seen in Kenya, the mobile-based payments started. And based on the mobile-based payments, because the telcos had the rich data about the consumer behavior, based on the consumer behavior, make the micro loans real time. Today, of course, quite a few banks and here in India are also offering the service, the overdraft or the lending advances real time. You just really give a missed call, or you can give a really click and you get the sanction, because based on the data available about the customer, the profiling of the customer has been done. So the data, use of data by various methodologies, using the various statistical techniques, using the computer technology, the data analytics assumes considerably important. You would have heard about the SMAC. SMAC is the social media, mobility, analytics and cloud. Analytics plays a very important role in the enterprise of tomorrow. So for the banks, this analytics is of considerable importance. I would not really dwell much more than that, really. In fact, my expertise in the subject is also not that higher that I will go into the different methodologies of statistics, except that my statistics analytics department, in fact, uh, that they work with me very closely. The big data is a subject matter of interest for all organizations. We are in the process of building the big data, but even without the big data, really, we have got a few very efficient, very good analysts, data scientists who have been able to really support me extremely well in building business intelligence reports for the banks, and we are going a big step forward in building the big data of payment systems in India. Similarly, for every bank, it is of considerable importance. I know the kind of work that State Bank is doing. Mr. Kajal Ghosh is there. He will share with you. SDFC, ICICI, Axis, so many banks, they are working very, very at a furious pace as to how they can make use of immense amount of data that they have with them. Thank you very much, and nothing else to really share with me at this stage. It was my pleasure being here. Mr. Saab, really, I thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much.